And we're back in the attic. So yeah, so we're at this hotel, and these are super nice suites, so they have their own furnace. So we got two of them down, room 318, which is this one, and 317, which is that one. I got no 24 volts going to the thermostat. This one, the fan's just running, so we're gonna start with this one. So here we go. All right, so let's see if we have any kind of flashing going on. Looks like we do. Two. So we got two red flashes. Looks like some green flashes. I don't think those matter. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this off and see what that means. If we look here, two flash, external lockout retries. So it looks like a ignition failure. So let's go ahead and reset this thing, and then we'll go from there. We reset the power, and it looks like we cleared out whatever lockout there was. It was flashing a little bit, but then it quit. So we're gonna try to call for heat and see what happens. All right, so thermostat's cooling. That inducer sounds terrible. Let's get an amp draw on it. Oh, we got ignition. Looks like we might just have a dirty flame sensor. Yeah, so it's already failed twice. It lights up. Yeah, it looks like a dirty flame sensor. Let's go ahead and open this up and get that clean. I'm gonna recommend this get changed because that sounds terrible. Well, there's our flame sensor. It doesn't look terrible, but we'll go ahead and clean it and see if that does anything. All right, she's nice and clean. We'll pop her back in there and see what happens. Okay. Not terrible. Alright, so it might have actually been the flame sensor. I'm still going to recommend we replace this. This thing sounds terrible. Okay, I don't know if you hear that, but the motor's slowing down. Yeah, I think the problem's our inducer. She's been running now for a little while. This is not a variable speed blower or combustion motor, just so you know. Our amp draw has dropped a little bit too. It's possible that it just warmed up and it's like easier for it to spin too, but I think the inducer is the issue. I think I warmed it back up and got it. It's moving again, but it's so cold up here, it'll probably freeze up if it's not being used. So I'm still going to recommend that we change that motor. All right, so it's been running for a little while. The amp draw dropped down to about 0.8 amps. So I would say, I think this thing just needed to warm up, but I think it was struggling, and that's what was causing our issue. Or it could have even been the flame sensor, but either way, I'm going to come back and replace that. So we're going to go ahead and move on to that other one. All right, so before we kill the power, take the panels off. Let's just see if we see anything. There's no lights. This is the one I was getting no 24 volts from the thermostat. And yeah, this is bypass, so I should have some power come into it. So let's go ahead and see. I'm checking that, and I can see that that is in the on position. So it looks like it's got a fuse. So let's go ahead and check that fuse first, but it doesn't appear like I'm getting any high voltage to this unit. All right, so we got the fuse out here. It's a little burning, but it looks like it's still closed. So this may not be the issue. So, but we're gonna ohm it out and just make sure. So whenever you're doing one of these screw-on fuses, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put one on the outside and one there. So we do have continuity. I don't know if you can hear that beeping. Here, we'll see. See? We got continuity. So it's not that. So we're going to go ahead and check our low voltage fuse, which is this one. I don't know if you can see that, but it's totally toast. All right, so I got that on the R coming off the transformer. I'm gonna check amps, and I have it set to hold max. We've replaced the fuse. We're gonna flip it on, see what happens. It's at 0.5, and we got some blinky lights. Now, when I got here, the thermostat was off the wall, so I'm wondering if somebody messed with it. So we'll go ahead and cycle everything and go from there. Okay, so I'm calling for fan. And we're only pulling 0.28, 0.29, so about 0.3 amps. It's not even 1 amp. Our fuse can handle 5. Fan is on. Kill. Alright, I'm gonna try to call for cooling. I just want to make sure that there's no other potential short. All right, I feel refrigerant moving, so condenser's working. Cool. We're at 0.38. That seems to be okay. And the reason why it's higher is because we're powering the relay for the blower and the contactor. Okay, so let's try heat. And inducer's on. We got Ignitor. Looks like we got ignition. And that inducer is so much quieter compared to that other one. I can't even hear it thing. Oh, that's the ECM one, that's why. And this is a 2-stage furnace, but of course W1 and W2 is jumped out, and the thermostat doesn't support 2 stages, so. Makes a lot of sense to put a high efficiency unit when you're not gonna use it. Cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing off. I'm gonna clean the flame sensor, and then we're gonna turn everything on from the thermostat just to make sure the short's not in the stat. But this now tells me that the unit itself is fine. And I am tripping out how quiet this thing is. Is the fan even running? Oh, there goes the fan. Yeah. Okay. Man, this thing's super quiet. It's crazy. I don't know if you can still hear it, but in the background, that's that other one that we fixed. Well, I'm glad I decided to clean this thing. Look how nasty this is. Look at that. It's terrible. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get this clean. Oh, that's way better, right? Look at that. It's like brand new again. Cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this back together and then cycle everything from the stat. All right, and I'm just putting new filters in these things since I'm here. I mean, they're pretty good about changing their filters, but I would rather just do it so I don't have issues. And they had a ton of filters up here anyway, so I just used theirs. All right, so we're in the room. Looks like the thermostat's dead. So I think when they pulled this off the wall, they probably caused the short. So I'll have to let them know that it's bad. Yeah, so it looks like I blew the fuse. And now I'm looking at this, the wiring is not done right. At least doesn't look like it. So I'm gonna check this wiring, but I think they think it's a heat pump, but it's actually a gas furnace. So we'll double check this wiring and then we'll make sure it matches up in the attic, and then I'll have to replace that fuse. And so they don't mess it up again, I'll probably just turn the disconnect off. That way they'll replace the thermostat and then have to turn it back on. Yeah, look at this. It's set up for a heat pump. So that's probably why I blew the fuse. It's probably trying to energize something, I don't know. We'll try switching that first, but yeah, it's set up for a heat pump, which it's not supposed to be. Yeah, that thermostat burnt my fuse. So, let me just check the wiring, because I noticed that the common is a black wire, and over here I think it's the blue wire, and then the blue wire on the thermostat's hooked up to OB. So yeah, they were messing with it, and they switched to heat pump for some reason. So anyway, yeah, let's check this out. Yeah, so Trane likes to be different, so their common is actually B. So yeah, so that black wire hooked to common is hooked to nothing really, because there's the black wire right there. So yeah, we need to fix that. All right, we got power again, so let's go fix that thermostat and see if it works. Hopefully it doesn't burn up another fuse. I only got 2 left. We have 24 volts now that it's wired properly. So they had this black wire into common, the blue wire into BO, and orange was just kind of stuck in there, not really hooked to anything, so that's not good. The thermostat itself, we got that switched to conventional, so let's see if it works. So far it hasn't popped yet, so we're gonna pop it on and see what happens. All right, moment of truth. So with these, it's a little hinge on the top, and then just, okay, we got power, so that's a good thing. And then there's a screw here on the bottom that you gotta tighten or loosen if you're taking it off. So let's go ahead and turn on the fan. Low's not connected. Okay, fan came on, it's a good sign. Yeah, so low is just not connected. Put that on auto. So let's try to run the cooling. All right, so it's gonna make us wait, so we'll be back when it starts up. All right, air conditioner came on. Let's see if the heat works. All right, and we will have to wait for that. All right, so it's heating and nothing else shorted. So it looks like it was a combination of this being programmed for a heat pump, being kind of wired for a heat pump. So I think what was happening is, I'm just guessing this, but I think whoever was staying in this room was like, yeah, I turn on the heat and it takes forever to turn on. And that's because it was turning on the, what do you call it? It was turning on the gas furnace as auxiliary heat. So unless they cranked it up, it would just try to run on a heat pump, which there isn't one connected. So it just would blow cold air. So I think the maintenance guy came out here and started fiddling with it, popped the fuse and was like, I don't know. And so he called us. Anyway, so if you come across this, always check your wiring, because it probably has been like this for a while, because this thermostat's not really designed for a standard conventional unit. It's actually designed for an Amana PTAC unit. So anyway, hopefully this helps you out. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment, tell me what a horrible technician I am. Hit that bell notification and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you want to support the channel, visit my tool store on Amazon. And if you want some work socks like mine, pick some up at Camel City Mill and use my code at nighthawk10. So see you on the next one.